Welcome back to Redefining Love. I am your host, Tara Portelli, and on today's episode, I want to dive into this concept around creating your dream life and what keeps you stuck away from everything that you want. And this is in celebration of 2026. This is the first episode of the new year, January 2026. I don't know about you guys, but last year was one of the hardest years of my life. 2025 was definitely difficult. And here we are now in the year of the horse. Last year was the year of the snake. Snake is about death and rebirth and transformation. And the horse is around moving forward and taking all of that transformation and projecting it into the future and doing the things that you've always wanted to do. There's no more keeping yourself small. And so a lot of people are super focused on transformation, inner transformation, creating the dream life, manifesting your dreams. But there's something that people don't tell you. And that is that manifestation isn't as simple as closing your eyes, thinking about what you want, and willing it into your life and staying in a positive state. The truth is that your body speaks louder than the mind, and we speak vibration. So our bodies speak a different frequency than what our minds might be speaking. So, what does that mean? It means that the stuff that we're not processing, the emotions that we pushed away when it wasn't a good time to feel sad or to feel angry, we had to distract ourselves because we were too busy to deal with that. Well, all of that stuff that you pushed away all of these years is sitting in your body, keeping you very heavy. When you feel dense energy stuck in your body, it keeps your vibration low. So, for those of you that don't know, I've talked about it before on previous episodes. We are vibration. If you looked at our bodies underneath a microscope, we are frequency. We are literally moving atoms vibrating at a very quick speed to the point where the human eye can see solid. And because we are frequency, we can only connect with the same frequency that we are. So when you're in a dark place, you're going to connect with dark situations or people that are in the same frequency as you. When you're in a high vibrating place, you're going to connect with more people on that vibration. And so, how do we elevate our vibration? Because the truth is that everything that you can see in your mind, you can create in your reality. Because everything starts with a thought. And how do we do that? Well, those dreams, those things that we want to accomplish, they are available to us because we can think of them, we can create them, and they are existing on the higher frequencies. But when we're stuck in our stuff, we're stuck in our traumas or our past, or we're ruminating on things that have happened and we can't seem to break out of these patterns, or we're stuck in a consistency of limiting beliefs, consistent limiting beliefs, while we can't access those frequencies at the higher level where everything that we truly want exists. So, how do we elevate our vibration? How do we access that frequency? So, I spent 1 year in an ancient mystery school with Peter Kelly, Subconsciously Conscious, on Instagram, and he is a Western adept. So he is an extremely old soul who has come here to help guide people to healing, to their evolution. And we have connected randomly. And then I spent 1 year in a school with him. And during that time, I learned a lot. And one of the things that I learned is that if you don't transmute the energy that is stuck in your body as pushed away emotion, then you cannot elevate your frequency. And so when somebody triggers us, for example, so let's say, for example, your mom calls you, she says something that really upsets you, you're triggered, now you're upset. that is a gift for you because those are old wounds. So the way that you feel during the call with your mom is not new. You felt this before. This is just in your body. It's on the deeper levels. It's probably something from a long time ago. And all you have to do is sit with the emotion. So instead of getting upset with your mom and projecting on her, really what you have to do is step away and take time to feel how you've been triggered, to understand it, to like sit with the emotion that comes up for you, and maybe even think about a time that maybe you felt like that before. And if nothing comes to you, that's okay. Just sit with the emotion, allow it to move through you. And by doing this, so whether it's like anger, then I would say go into a room and punch a pillow. If it's sadness, allow yourself to cry. Allow the tears to flow and just let it out. And by doing this, what we're doing is we're taking the emotion that was stuck in the body and we're transmuting it. We're freeing it. We're allowing it to come to the surface and letting it go. And when we do this, it's like one rock out of that backpack of rocks that we've been wearing, and we're taking it out. And every time we do this, our frequency gets higher and higher and higher. So that's how you elevate your frequency. So everyone that talks about manifestation, but they don't do the deep inner work, you don't work on getting to know yourself or accepting yourself. I think a lot of people's struggles are around self-acceptance and self-love, hence why this podcast is called Redefining Love, because the love that we seek is actually not outside of us. The love that we seek is actually inside of us. And we can create that love that we feel with another person at any moment of any day when we do the inner work and we start to cultivate a different relationship with ourselves. So the work is around creating a new relationship with yourself. It's around alchemizing those emotions that are coming up when you're triggered, when you're really upset, and allowing that to flow through your body. So some of the work that I do with clients, which I actually just spent 3 days with a client, and we moved so much of her emotion out of her body. And a lot of the psychedelic work that I do is around freeing up the emotions. It's bringing the emotions that you've suppressed for years and years to the surface. And for a lot of people, that sounds really overwhelming. Like you actually push it away for a reason and you don't want to feel it and you don't want to revisit it. And that makes sense. I understand. But if you can free it, you're actually going to feel so much better because the emotion that we don't address now is going to haunt us ongoing into the future. We have to face the things that we feel. When we lose somebody out of our life, when we're in grief, whether it's through death or through loss of a relationship, it's really important to face the grief, to sit in the grief, to let it move through us. Not to allow it to keep us stuck in our life, but it's just processing that grief. One of the most beautiful things that I love to do is grief journaling. And this is literally you just sit there and you write about whatever it is that's come up for you. Maybe it's a person that you've lost and you're feeling the emotions of it, or someone's triggered you to feel those emotions again. You just write as much as you can about that person, about what it felt like to be with that person, about what happened, how it ended, how you lost them, whether it was through a relationship loss or through death, and just write everything you can imagine and allow the emotion to come up during the writing. And then what you do is you create like a burning bowl and you burn the paper that you wrote on. And what this is doing is it's freeing the grief from the body and it's transmuting it into fire, and that fire energy is going to then eventually allow it to go up into the earth and or into the sky and transmute. And maybe this sounds a little bit too woo woo for you, but I will tell you that I had to do a lot of grief journaling on my journey because I was somebody that was like, okay, that happened, and then I'm going to move on from it. And I don't face it. I was like a little warrior. I would just navigate my life, loss, love, whatever would come up, situations, and I would just power through them, distract myself, and move on to the next thing. But that didn't do me any good. And it only kept me stuck and not able to open up my heart to love. Because when we're full of grief and sadness and pain that we are not processing, we don't have space to let true love into our life. So what I recommend for you to do moving into 2026 is to really start to do the deep work. Start to let go of all of those things that keep you stuck, those limiting beliefs, which we're all programmed to have. I mean, even myself, I'm still moving through limiting beliefs about money, about fear, about what I'm capable of. It's just truly believing in yourself enough to create what is actually possible for you. Because again, if you can imagine in your mind, anything is possible because you're co-creating with the universe. So if you're co-creating with the universe, you're dreaming of what you want in your mind. The universe is getting the message. And now it's just a matter of following the passions that you have and allowing everything else to unfold. Because when we do follow our passion, it keeps us in a higher vibration. So we'll have density in our system when we are not processing the emotion. And so we free the body of that emotion by allowing it to come up, transmuting it, alchemizing it, feeling it, writing about it, burning it, whatever process you need to go through, and with however much you need to go through, you need to do this process. And then on the other hand of that, or the other side of that, I should say, you're going to access more joy. How do you access more joy? You follow the things that light you up. So it could be anything. It could be you love to write, you love to draw, you love to sit there and just listen to music and drink a coffee in the morning. Or you love to play a piano or whatever it is. Maybe you're an artist. Whatever it is that you love to do, just do more of that and fill your life more with the things that make you feel excited and passionate. So now you have two sides of the coin. You're working through all the density in the body. Now you're accessing more joy. And what's happening for you is you're slowly rising and elevating your frequency. And as you do more of the things that you love and that you enjoy, your path is going to unfold. It's going to be like you're in a flow state. So then you're going to notice in your life more synchronicities, more experiences that feel more in alignment with what you love. For example, if you're somebody that does love to play the piano, maybe somebody's going to ring you up and say, "Oh, I heard that there's auditions for a symphony." Or, I mean, that's far fetched, but like these are the types of things that are going to start to show up in your life. Now, the one book that I highly recommend if you've never read it is called Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. This was the very first book that ever really introduced me to the possibility of just like allowing your life to unfold. Trusting in the process, trusting that just like a rose seed becomes a rose, we each have our own seed that we are meant to become. Each individual, each person has a purpose in this time, place, space right now. In these years, we all have a purpose. And it's just connecting with the purpose. But the only way to connect with that purpose is to be in those higher vibrations, in that flow state, in alignment with what makes you excited and happy, what feels natural to you, what you enjoy doing. So I've been in and out of these flow states for most of my spiritual journey to this point. And when we are out of the flow state, that's okay too, because those are the times that we're doing the deep healing work. And sometimes not all of the things that we need to process in the body, all of the emotions that are stuck are going to come up at one time. It's not meant to be like, I'm just going to buckle down for 10 years and I'm going to do this deep work and it's all going to go away and then it's over. It doesn't work like that. This is ongoing work. But it's really important that while you're doing the deep work, you're also accessing joy, because life was meant to be fun and playful, and you're meant to connect with your inner child and that part of yourself that's like this little fire that's lit up inside that allows you to access your passions and allows you to have passion, because that's what That's what life is all about. It's about really enjoying your life. We're doing everything backwards. This whole like 9 to 5 life with 2 weeks vacation and weekends off. I think that that is a thing of the past. Not that that's ever going to go away, but also I think it's important to remember why you're even here. Were you here to be in this robotic state of being? I don't think so. I think that you were meant to connect with the things that light you up inside and do more of those and allow yourself to slowly manifest your dream that you have in your head and allow the pieces to fall into place. So let's get back to the dream. So now you're doing the deep inner work, you're accessing more joy, your frequency is elevating. And what's going to happen for you is when you're in the flow state, in that frequency that is in joy, in passion, when you lose track of time, when you just are having a good time, you're accessing your inner child, your creative space, your creative side. Now what happens is the little breadcrumbs from your dream are going to start to appear one at a time. Like I said, like the person is going to call you up and say, hey, they're doing auditions for the symphony. Or like you're going to be invited to an art class. Oh my God, I love that kind of art. Or something's just going to happen and you're going to be like, this is what tarot is talking about. This is synchronicities. These things are what's happening for us. So even the difficulties that are going to come up in your life, in your reality, the challenges, it's not for no reason. It's actually there to push you and allow you to be triggered so that those emotions that are keeping you dense and stuck in your ego, in fear, in limiting beliefs can transmute and free you so that you can elevate to the higher frequency, so you can access joy, so you can access the dreams that you can imagine in your mind. So it's not the simplest formula. It may take a long time because sometimes the version of us that needs to be created to have that thing that we really want in our life, it's going to take a lot. It might take a lot of different circumstances and situations and people to appear in our reality before it shows itself. But you can trust that if you can dream it in your mind and you really want it, that the universe is co-creating with you to create that thing. So I know this one was a lot. It's a little bit overwhelming, and sometimes you need a guide to help you. And of course, I'm always here. I do a lot of one on one work with people. I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of hypnotherapy, which can also really help to get to the core and the root of the limiting beliefs or the anxiety or the depression or the thing that's keeping you stuck in your life, and to reframe it so that you no longer feel that way in your reality. So it's almost like a fast forward, if you will, to doing deeper work and getting it. It's just like mushrooms or just like psychedelics. It's kind of fast forwarding, getting all of that grief to come to the surface so you can process it and let it go, so you can elevate your frequency. So you guys can always connect with me anytime. Just in case you haven't yet, I would love you to follow me. My handle on Instagram is I am Tara Portelli. You can also connect with me on my website, www.taraportelli.com. I have lots of options for you guys if you want some support along the way. I'm always here. Or just keep listening, because I'm sure every podcast you're going to listen to, you're going to learn something new, maybe take away something, a piece of wisdom. I mean, this is my process. I've been through this process and now I'm sharing it with you guys so that you can also create the dream life you want. Because I will say that the last 6 years, have they been challenging? Absolutely, but they've also been just as much amazing and blowing my own mind. So you never know what's around the corner for you. So just trust in the process and really just stay neutral in how you feel about certain situations that show up. Instead of becoming the victim of the hard things, ask, wonder why this is showing up in my reality. I wonder what I have to learn from this, because there's lessons in everything. We're literally in Earth School. You are a student, and when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So have a beautiful week, everyone, and I will connect with you next week.